Um, yeah, I wasn't really into the sprint races, but this year they've really grown on me. Like I normally never really like pay attention because I'm like, oh, it's not the real race and it's just like a few points or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm just such a purist, I guess, in that way. Or like I don't
Because
like
you're old
change.
school.
No, I
You're
don't
old
like,
school F1 fan.
generally speaking, I don't enjoy things changing. Like once I
Mm.
like things, I'm like I'm set in my way.
I think the older I get, the more I become that way.
Okay.
Because initially I'd be like, change is awesome. And now I'm like, can we not?
Okay. Yesterday I went to go see The Devil Wears Prada with
Was it
my
good?
friend. Yes. Okay, pero everything uses a fucking QR code and that shit drives me nuts.
It drives me
I hate it.
nuts.
That was like after the pandemic, I was like, I want these freaking QR codes to like go away. Like, and okay, so it's like an Alamo Draft House. It's like a chain that started here in Austin and like now they're everywhere. And like they used to have like cute little like hidey holes for the menu, and they used to have like little lights, and then you would write your order on like a piece of paper, and then like the servers would come. But because everything like downsizing and like they don't want to have to pay for staff, everything is fucking through the QR code, and it's in the dark. Like how does the QR code? I felt like
Gonna like
I
my
told her
you're like
is
my
like
camera light
immediately
isn't agree.
llegué like complaining about everything, quejándome de todo, because I was like in the parking garage. It's a fucking QR code to pay, and like I was running late, so I like didn't realize, and then I like see all these signs like as I'm already like late to the movie. Well, I'm not like late to the movie, but like I'm not. I'm like getting late. It's like right on time. And
Yeah.
so then I was like, what the fuck? Then it asks you for your fucking license plate number. Who knows their license? My father. My father knows his license plate number and like all his driver's license. He
Oh, I
probably,
don't
yeah.
know any of that.
Yeah, no. And
I
so I was
barely
like,
know my phone number.
then I had to hook, I was already at the elevator, which is like across the distance of the parking lot. I had to fucking walk all the way back to type in my thing. And then we get into the movie and I'm like, a fucking QR code again. And it was dark.
You're like, who designed this?
I was like, ya estoy viejita porque ya estoy
No,
señora
I
porque me estoy
hate it.
quejando de todo. And
I just want a
get
physical
this.
menu.
I thought the movie was too loud.
No, Amanda.
I was like, bájale. And I turned to my friend, I was like, it's so loud. And she was like, it is. And then we like look up at the end of the movie and we're like literally underneath the
By
speakers. And I was like,
oh, that's fine.
teníamos razón. Yeah, but I was
Granted,
like,
that's how I felt about Oppenheimer. I was like, I get that this movie's supposed to be
girl,
good. I was like, I couldn't understand a single fucking like conversation because I could not hear a thing. And
same.
then I Google and I was like, this cannot just be me. He intentionally did
Oh,
that
we
to make
talked
it
about
feel like
this.
overwhelming.
Didn't we talk about this?
Drives me nuts though.
Yeah, I know. That made me feel like an out of body, like weird experience. Like where like I was like, my body is like reverberating.
I know.
Um,
It frustrated me though a lot because you're like seeing two people talking. There's no subtitles and you can't understand what they're saying.
that's the
So
other
I
thing.
was just like looking at the screen like this. I was like, I was so annoyed after that movie.
I need the subtitles now.
I need subtitles. I know.
That's how
Me
we know we're getting
too.
into our
I love
middle age.
subtitles.
I
Give me
know.
some subtitles.
Girl, when it's in a different dialect of like English or even Spanish, like if I'm watching, like, okay, if I'm watching like a British series and it's British, I'm like, I need subtitles.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when they whisper, I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you saying?
I know.
Um,
Anything that's like Irish, Scottish,
yes,
Welsh, like
yes.
honestly, any English that isn't like U.S.
American
English, I'm
English.
like,
Yeah,
eh?
yeah, yeah. And then for in Spanish, oh my God, I have to have it for like the
Mm.
Spanish that are like from España. I'm like, what the fuck are they saying?
Yeah,
And then I gotta
no,
have
it's
it
so
in like
different.
it can't be like Catalan. I'm like, I need it to be Latino America.
Latino, no, because it's so different. I
I'm like,
don't
¿qué chingados
understand it.
está? ¿Qué dice?
No, for real though. I I totally get it. At this point, even if it's in like an English, like US American movie, I will still put the subtitles on. Just force a habit now.
Yeah,
And also because like I hardly ever am paying full attention and sort of I feel like drawn into the movie if I'm reading it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
I
I
hear
get
that.
distracted. But
Yeah.
anyway,
We
I
should get into the
know.
pod.
I know. But the whole QR thing though, like I I especially hate it when you're traveling
Oh God.
because you're running low on battery. You barely sometimes have internet. And I was like, you're giving me a fucking QR code. I was like, can I get a paper menu, please? Like, just
That.
just give me a paper menu.
I know. And
It's
like,
so annoying.
isn't it harder to keep that menu updated if it's on a QR? I don't
I
know.
don't even know, to be honest. But
Yeah.
it's really annoying, and I get it. I don't like it that everything requires you to like give them your email or your phone number.
Everything.
I'm like, you
I'm
don't
like,
need to know
why?
my email or my phone number. I don't want to give it to you.
I know. Same like with the parking lot thing yesterday. Like they
Yeah.
had my license plate number. Pues, that makes sense, kind of. Well, yeah. And then I had to give them my phone number. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I'm giving you like my credit card information.
Yeah. Well, here in Seattle, they have pay to park, and you have to have an app now to pay for parking. So I have the app, and it has your license plate, your credit card, your phone number. I was like, do you want my social security and my blood type too? Like, what more do you want?
Yeah.
No, it's getting out of hand. I am becoming like old people. Like, they were
Me
like, ah,
too.
like all this technology, but sometimes it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm like, give me a meter. Like even just
Yeah,
the meter where like you would like tap your card and then go like print a
100%.
sticker and put it on the.
Yeah,
I'm like, let's just have
exactly.
that
Exactly.
instead of whatever else fuck we have. It's so stupid.
Ugh,
Well,
technology.
we digress significantly. Okay,
We
let's start the
digress.
pod. 10 whole
Yes.
minutes of rambling. Okay,
Woohoo.
ready?
Yes.
Go.
Connecting Austin to Seattle.
We are Dos Amigas talking everything F1.
I'm Lisette.
And I'm Amanda.
Bienvenidos
Bienvenidos a
a
Circuitos y
Circuitos y
Chisme.
Chisme.
Yay! We kind of got it.
Yay! Yes, and this is like a little bit of a filler episode, we'll call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want more Circuitos y Chisme, we now have a website, Circuitos, CIRCUITOS, CHISME.com, circuitosychisme.com. It has links to like our TikTok, our Instagram, and the Apple and Spotify podcasts. And soon we will have a YouTube channel. So
Un
check us out there.
YouTube!
El YouTube.
El YouTubes!
Um,
I know. I'm
Yeah.
excited to be on YouTube because you know what? It's a little bit of a manosphere, and we need a little
Yes.
bit more feminine energy in there.
I know.
So
Yeah, it'll be cool.
it'll be great.
Okay, so the topics that we're going to cover today, like maybe we just give an overview. We're going to do a little bit of Canadian Grand Prix review. There's a rumor that V8s, not a rumor, I guess it's kind of been said, V8s are potentially back, baby. And so we'll talk a little bit about that. We have thoughts. And then Lewis retirement rumors. Oh, these are always like around. And lastly, Max and I always say this wrong. Max is doing the 24 hours of
Nurburgring.
Nurburgring. I always
Yeah,
say it wrong.
Nurburgring. I know. I don't know how to say it either.
My coworker is German. Isn't it German?
Yeah.
I should have asked her. Anyways,
Next time.
yeah, where should we start? I know I have them in order, but we don't have to start in order. We can go wherever.
Ooh. Shall we start with the Lewis rumors, actually?
Yeah, go for it.
So I wake up and I open Instagram as I do when I wake up, the social medias, and immediately I see breaking news. Lewis retirement announcement in Silverstone. And I was like, and I send it to Amanda immediately. And she's
And I was like, is
I
this
don't
real?
know. Is this
Do
real?
you believe it?
I was like, I believe it. It's obviously a rumor, but it just kind of opens up the conversation. And I think a couple of like F1 fans and followers / social media content creators are like, no, this is not like official. And I know it's not official, but Lewis's contract with Ferrari's ending this year. And I know it might be too early for like contract renewal conversations, but I don't know. I feel like Lewis, I just don't see him another year at Ferrari.
Yeah, I don't know. The reason, okay, let me give you some context. I was like, is this real? Because AI be fooling me sometimes, and I work
I
in this
know.
space, and I'm
I
always like,
know.
okay, so like I see literally, okay, this is sidetracking, but like for the Met Gala, I literally fell for like two looks that were like completely AI generated, pendeja. But like I'm always just like, is this fake news? Is this AI generated? And
It
so I'm
is
always
really
like
hard.
second guessing. Um, and then my sister sends me like all of these like conspiracy theory things, and I'm always like, girl, we need to reset your algorithm. And so I think whenever I now see, and this is so bad about like society, but like whenever I see shocking news, I'm always like, is
You're like,
this
is this
real?
AI?
Yes. So that's why I responded that way, because I'm like, and also I don't want it to be true because I think he
I know.
has so much left to do in the sport as like from like a mission perspective that I just don't want him to leave. And we were talking to like another podcaster, his name is Emmy Monoplaza F1, and like we're all like Lewis stans.
I know.
And like he is when I entered the sport, when I became a fan of the sport, he was just like one of those like stars that like I gravitated towards. Like I think a lot of people that came into the sport like in 2020, 2021,
Yeah.
they were gravitating like towards Max. And so like you, whenever you're coming into like a sport, like you have a team, you have a person. And so
There's a person or team that draws you
yeah, yeah,
in.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so he's that for me. And
Same.
I,
I
I
can't
am,
have,
I don't know what I'll do when he like leaves.
I,
I think that he'll still be involved in some form or capacity, but like seeing him in the I would love to see him as a team principal one day or something like that.
do
Like
you
I
think he would be a team principal? I
or
don't
I don't
see
know,
it
like
for some
something like that. Like
reason.
I see him like I would love to see him in a different facet of the
Yeah.
sport. Like oh my God, who is Oscar? Why am I do this every time we're on the pod?
Oh,
Oscar Piastri's Weber, right?
Weber.
Mark
Yeah,
Weber
his
is his
manager.
manager, and so I'm like maybe he like manages people, or maybe he becomes like a team principal, or like I don't know something. Like maybe he just like funds a bunch of shit. Like I don't know. Um,
I could see him being a manager because, like, he had to navigate a lot of hard,
that's a good
just
point.
just harshness in the
Yeah,
sport, being the first black driver in F1. Like, he's had to navigate so many naysayers, so many, just so many challenges. And I
yeah,
feel like he would be such an incredible manager and like
yeah,
advocate for whoever he is working for.
totally.
But I don't see him as a team principal. Not that he's not like strategic or anything. He knows the sport inside and out,
I
but
just
like
wonder if he's
for
not like
some
ruthless
reason that
enough.
person. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't
I
know.
feel like maybe he is. I don't know. I hadn't seen him that way. But yeah, I can't imagine the sport without him.
Yeah,
Um, Lewis was the reason why I became aware of F1 also. And it wasn't even because of F1. It was when he showed up at the Met Gala and he was a cutie patootie. And I was like, oh, who's that cutie?
he is
And
fine.
they were like Lewis Hamilton. And I was like, oh, that's Lewis Hamilton. Because you read that anytime you would open like any sports section, it was like Lewis, 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 like
Yeah,
dominating the sport, right? But,
yeah,
and then this was like in 2018. Um, yeah, and then after that, I was like, oh, like he started he started building that like the runway at the racetrack. He just
yeah.
started
The
showing up with
fits.
his amazing fits.
Yeah, he has
And
such
it
good
was just like
style.
fun to watch. He does. I love his
I
street
know.
style.
So here's the thing. Okay, so like I can see. I keep moving out of the frame. I can see him. I see like the concern, right, of like why there's the rumors, right? Like the contract thing is like a big one.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this before. Like to me, that seems like a crazy amount of money for Ferrari to spend on a 2-year contract. Like with
Yeah.
I mean, they gave him stuff that like Mercedes wasn't even going to give him. So I'm
I
like, I
know.
don't like, I guess it's like worth it for them. But then like we hear so much, and we'll talk about this like later in like the other topics, but we hear so much about like the cost of this sport and how like
So
that's
expensive.
super like top of mind for all of the teams. So like just like the contract size alone, it makes me think like two things. It makes me think like maybe this was like a final like cash out kind of situation and like go everyone wants to be at Ferrari. I don't know why they want to do it, but they do.
It's the
But then
brand
it is
recognition.
totally,
That's
totally. And
it.
yeah, I know. I'm like, okay. But then like to your point though, like there's no, this is only like a 2-year contract thing. His contract is up. And then you have all these like potential silly season, like dominoes that might be falling into place where like if Max is loose in the seat, then that triggers other things. And then like, then what happens? And so like, I see where there's like, root to these
A
like
potential.
rumors.
Yep.
Yeah. But then I'm like, but why they spend so much money? And like,
Do
why did he
you
go make that move?
think
Like, I'm just like, what? Like,
Well, and the other thing too is like Charles's willingness to stay at Ferrari for yet another year. Like he has to have an exit clause because everybody does. And I honestly don't understand why he stays.
Charles?
I, yeah. Besides
What
the
did you
contract,
send
but
me? What did you send me on el Instagram? Era algo que about like
oh, that
the strategy.
Kimmy's about to have more wins than Charles Leclerc. It,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that is so sad.
Okay, let me read it. Cause it's like the music. Whoops, sorry. Yeah, Antonelli only needs 5 more race wins to match Charles Leclerc's race win tally. And
Yeah.
they were both seen as like this thing is like they are both seen as like generational talents.
Yep.
But then this actually brings me to another thing that I have like about the V8 engines. But like the Charles stands are going to be like, and I guess we're kind of one of them. Like he hasn't had the car. Ferrari can just never get it together. They can never get it together.
And I feel like they have
El carro,
a
la
good
estrategia,
the
like
strategy.
siempre, I'm
Yeah.
like siempre lo cagan, man.
I know. I mean, their glory days was Michael Schumacher, and I think that's why so many drivers gravitate towards
Yeah,
Ferrari is because he is, I think, debatable between him and Lewis, like the greatest driver in F1 and
Yeah.
modern days, right? And so
Yeah.
they're like, oh my God, the Michael Schumachers, the Lewis Hamilton. Lewis is like, I want to be a Michael, right? Goes to Ferrari.
Yeah.
But it's just, they're not delivering. They're not
know.
delivering, and they have so many resources. That's what blows my mind. They have every resource at their fingertip. I get the caps and all that, but like that aside, they have the talented drivers. They have the 7-time world champ. They have Charles Leclerc, who is a generational talent. And they can't win a fucking race.
I know, man. I know.
I feel bad. I think
Okay.
Charles needs to leave. I just don't know where he would go.
That's the thing. Okay, so you were saying like you don't know. Okay, so like back to Lewis and like the rumors. So like Charles is the man. He's the company man. He's like the ride or die.
He is the right
He's in a toxic relationship with Ferrari.
He is.
And so he's not gonna leave, right? But then like where would he even go? Which is always the thing with the seats, right? But yeah, it's just I don't know. I think there is merit to that rumor. We'll see.
We'll
And maybe
see.
too, like I'm like, is this Kim? Is this Kim and La Kris Jenner making him want to retire?
They're starting the rumor, so like it starts spitting up chaos.
I don't know. Maybe it's like Kris Jenner's PR machine. Yo,
I don't know.
she
Like,
works hard.
She's good at something, and
Yeah,
it's
totally.
PR. No,
Yeah.
100%. No, you got to give credit to where credit is due. Anyway, yeah, so that's the rumor with Lewis, and I know we keep hearing these rumors, right? But it's weird that Alonso doesn't get the same rumors, and he's older. Like, and I think you could easily say, like, Alonso's going to retire. Nope.
We texted about this, and I was like, no. Lewis, out of spite, will just like stay racing just to stay in racing longer than Alonso.
Fernando.
Yeah. Like, I think that, like, so, no, I don't think he's going to retire. I think he's just going to, like, stick it. And also, like, Nico Hülkenberg has been around for forever, too.
It's
and, like,
true.
there's never a question about, like, whether or not. And he's, like, we talked about this, like, 3 pods ago. Like, he's, like, always been mid-tier. But I think he's just, like, that, like, B+ student that just, like, But he
Everybody needs a B player, and he is
yeah.
the ultimate B player. Could he be a grade A driver? Potentially, 100%. He's just like never had the opportunity.
Yeah, he's like C's get degrees. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I know. Poor Nico.
Okay, so like
Poor
I don't know.
Nico.
Then I'm just gonna flip flop on it. Like I don't think he's gonna retire because
Well, and then Alonso gave a statement. I don't, again, it might have been an AI generated thing. I don't fucking know anymore. But it was like, I think I saw him say that he wanted to stay in the sport long enough for his son to see him and understand his dad is a pilot, like getting in a car.
okay, that's like 5 or 6. That's like 5 or 6 years.
I know. I was like, Alonso, that is like
How old is
Fernando.
Fernando Alonso? Hold on.
He's 40 something.
A
He's
ver,
in his mid 40s, que no?
voy a
Because
revisar
Lewis
con el
is
Google.
already.
Fernando Alonso. 44. Ey, se ve más viejo que 44.
He does.
He
What's up
needs
with that?
sunscreen.
He needs sunscreen. That was my first thing. I was
The
sunblock.
Spanish. Put on some sunscreen.
I know.
Carlos,
Anyway,
look ahead to the future. Wear sunscreen.
he is because L'Oreal's got him covered,
I'm
baby.
like, y'all are European. Y'all better be. You don't have the melanin. You need to
Can
be
I
putting.
say on the Carlos, since we're talking about Carlos, I love that he's like sponsored by L'Oreal, and I love seeing the because you're worth it. I'm like, it's so saucy, and I saw him wearing some like L'Oreal slogan on like the back of his shirt while he was getting, glammed up for the Cannes festival. I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, this is so peak, and he's such a beautiful man.
I know. He's
Like,
so pretty.
He's so pretty.
That
I know.
jawline.
Those eyes.
I know.
Don't get me started.
Don't get me started.
Don't get me started. Remember, he's our twin flame, both for both of us.
Yes.
Uh,
My Tauro energy.
my Virgo. He's my fellow Virgo.
Okay, I saw on TikTok last thing about Carlos. Him and Charles finally did like an ad together for L'Oreal.
Oh, they did it together?
Yes,
Oh,
I
didn't
can send
see
it to
that.
you. It's really cute.
I know, they're
Yeah.
two cuties. I really like, it's so funny. I don't know if this was one of the topics that we had for today, but Toni Brown, I know you follow her too.
Oh, I love her. She's fantastic.
So she posted on her social media about how the topics that women give legitimacy to within F1 sport is starting to blow up.
Oh, yeah. Okay, wait. Well, tell me more. I didn't see this from her yet.
So she was like, initially all these F1 like diehard people are like, you're not a real fan. You're talking about the fashion. You're talking about the wags. You're talking about the gossip that happens after the races. And now that's why so many people follow it. And that's why there's so many women that are following the sport. And for men to now be sponsored by a beauty brand, like massive global beauty brand, which is L'Oreal, I'm like, look at where the money is.
Yeah. Okay.
It's women in sports. It's women fans. And they were like, and suddenly they realize it. And now they completely pivot their like marketing, their commentators, and now they are trying to cater more to like the female viewership.
Yeah.
Because they finally recognize, oh, those are legitimate topics that fans actually are concerned to talk about. So I thought
everything
it was really
is like money. You know what I mean?
It
like,
is money.
So like I think that's one thing. But I will, for like the men that are complaining about like, oh, the women are only here for like the wags. Okay, but that's always kind of been the case because like in the 1970s and 80s, like James Hunt was like a rock star, like legend. And they've always had supermodel wives and they've always had these like very glamorous wags and girlfriends around. And like, there's always been that like, I mean, that's one of the reasons why it's held in Monaco. Like,
it was like the who's who of society.
So it's always been that. But I think like in the environment and age that we're in where that's accessible to everyone and like you can see it like through like socials and stuff, I think that's what's made this explosion. But like that underlying current of like the glitz and glamour,
it has always been part of the sport.
It's always been there. So like I don't want to hear that from like the men because they were also like
Monaco.
everyone, yeah, like
Just let's
everyone
just say
wanted to
it.
be
Monaco.
a like race car driver because they
Yeah.
pulled
It
hot
was fab.
chicks. Yeah.
Because it was fab. It's fabulous. It
Yeah,
still is.
yeah. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, but I do
But
think
I love
okay,
it.
but like yeah, like I think too, the turn of like sponsors, right? Of like
Hmm.
who is sponsoring and like who's giving money or like to this or investing money into the sport. Like that is a huge cultural shift for sure. I need
Yeah.
to go watch that. I love her
Yeah.
takes. I think they're
I
really
do too.
fascinating.
I
Yeah.
started subscribing to
She has a
her.
Substack, right?
She has a Substack, and she's also editor in chief of S's magazine. It's this
Oh
like
yeah, I've seen
F1
it. Yeah, yeah.
specific, yeah,
I need to
and
subscribe to it.
it's good. I really
Okay.
like it because it does. I mean, obviously, it highlights the drivers, but it talks more about kind of like what we try to do with the podcast, which is bring in all other aspects of
Yeah.
F1 into like the forefront of the sport, not obviously just the driving, but
Yeah.
other like the technology, the fashion, the branding.
Yeah.
And anyway, it's a really great, I think,
Publication.
publication. Yeah,
Cool.
100%
It's been
It's
advertised to me a
cool.
couple different times and I just
Yep.
haven't like pulled the plug, but I will.
Yeah, so hot take, but I really liked her take, and yeah, I really like her content, so I highly recommend people follow her.
It's Toni
She's,
Brown, right?
mm-hmm,
Yep. Follow her.
Toni Brown. She's awesome, and she always has the really cool nails.
I know. She has great
I love
nails.
nails.
I
I
love it.
know. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about, let's skip over to V8s. Okay, because
Yes.
the V8s are coming back. And a lot of like some of the things that I were talking about before like kind of fall into here. So a while ago, like V10s got floated around, but then it was shot down. Manufacturers were not supportive of that. And then very
Mm-hmm.
recently, Ben BMS,
BMS.
BMS or BSM, I don't know.
IBS. IBS.
I IBS is like we're gonna
IBS.
do V8s. It's gonna happen. The
Yeah.
timeline was originally like 2031. He's like it can be done sooner potentially. Personally, I'm super excited for this prospect of bringing the V8s back, mostly for the sound factor. And there's a couple other things too that I think are going to be cool about this. But when I first started like kind of paying attention to F1 when the race came to Austin, we had 1 year of V8s and they sounded so cool. And so I just do think that there's like something we were just talking about this in the movie. Like when the movie like reverberates in your
Yes.
body,
It like
like
shakes you.
that's how the V8s sound and it's like
Yeah.
really cool. And so I think that'll be really cool. So why are we thinking about like why is the we just had these like massive changes to the regulations this year.
Yeah.
So like why are we going back to V8s? Well, first of all is because the regulations of like the 50-50 split has been like
Not successful.
egg on face. And
Yeah.
I think it was what was the other girl podcast that we follow? I commented and I need to text them back and be like, girl, I was wrong. They were hinting at this, like, we think with the V8s are going to come back. And I was like, Ben Mohammed Saliun will never, like, it'll be too much egg on his face to, like, say that they're going to go back or whatever. And we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are.
So basically, like, the current regs, a lot of people are complaining about sound, apparently, that, like, you just don't have it. There's, like, obviously all the battery management issues that we just had to, like, talk
Which
through.
that
Like,
really
the
sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, the reg reset.
The
So
power
there's
units.
that. The other thing is that the cars could potentially be a lot lighter with simpler V8 engines, which is really an interesting. Well, yeah, it'll be lighter. And then my thoughts on this, and I want to know your thoughts too. Like, I think this is good for. I'm really excited about it. I think this will be good for the sport. When we were in the V8 era, I went back and looked, and there was a different like mix of teams winning driver championships. So you didn't have this like consolidation of power or like consolidation of like wins. Like you had, I mean, I loved it when Mercedes was winning.
You're like a
back to back to
dominating
back.
team.
Yeah. But then you had like the same thing happen with like Red Bull, right? And previous you just had more diversity or like more range of teams in the mix. And I think that's because I don't know people, but like I think that's because like the engine complexity is so much simpler.
It's simpler. You don't need as
You
much software either.
Yeah, and like there's less time and money spent on R&D too. So like I think it's like it equalizes the playing field a bit more. And I also could really get behind this because I think that you can have, we've talked about this, where like you have these really phenomenal drivers that are stuck at the back of the grid because
Mm-hmm.
their car sucks or the engine
Yeah.
sucks.
They
And so I'm
can't
like,
develop it enough
yeah,
because
and
they
so
don't
like
have the money because it's so expensive. Yeah, it's very
so
prohibitive.
I think we'll get to see a lot of like talented drivers like really get their shot, and I wonder if there will be less of a performance delta between like the front of the grid and the back of the grid. And like cuz right now it's like the Grand
It's
Canyon.
pretty big.
And
Yeah.
so I would like to see that like as an equalizer potentially. I didn't follow
I think
the
it
V8
could
era
be.
as closely, and I didn't go back to like look and see, but like I'm like, oh, I think this could be like a cool equalizer for everyone and for like drivers to really get their shot. Um One interesting thing about like the new proposal is that it's going to basically still be like some type of a hybrid V8 engine, but like it's going to be
Yeah.
the way that like a Porsche is a hybrid where it's just like kind of for boost. So
Yep.
that's there, and then there'll be like
I think
sustainable
that would make
fuels.
sense.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be 100% combustion engine. Like, and part of that is because a lot of the teams that are currently in F1,
Yeah.
some of them, not all of them, some of them are just there for the sport, which is like Ferrari. They
Yeah.
aren't using the sport as an R&D department. But
Great example. A great
a
example is
lot of
Honda.
other ones, and
Honda
yeah,
has left and come back to the sport twice,
yes.
and this goes back to like
And
my next point about
Audi
yeah.
literally came in because of the hybrid engines. They're using it in as a way to also do their development for their
Yeah.
market, like their general market vehicles.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people were also saying like it would be really great for the fandom, but that is immediately going to make some teams leave. So like it would suck for Audi because they literally just re-entered the sport. They have what, maybe 5 years or less,
I
and
know.
then they would potentially just dip back out because they're
Yeah.
like, this doesn't, you're spending a lot of money developing an engine and technology that is never going to make it to mass market.
Yeah. Like
And
I
this
think for
sport is,
the
and it's expensive. Like this is
totally.
so expensive. So
Yeah.
I wonder what teams would stay. I mean, Mercedes is such a big, not only are they a big player in the sport, but they sort of like make it their own. Like they sort of they almost like establish the framework of what the sport engines should be. And if Toto is signing off on it, it's going to be okay. You know, but
Yeah.
he immediately, I think I saw him like respond immediately to those like statements that were made. And he was like, yeah, like we could see the sport going back to a V8 engine, but with this type of like not 50-50, but it would be like a
I've
different
heard something like a
ratio.
70-30 split
Yeah.
between combustion and
Yeah. And
yeah.
renewable,
Yeah.
yeah, and renewable fuels and all of that. So,
That's such an excellent point on like which manufacturers will stay because again, everyone has a different all of the engine suppliers have like different reasons for being in the sport,
mhm.
and like Honda came back just for the electrical piece of it because then it
Yeah.
translates into their production cars.
Yep.
And this is the next thing, like manufacturers are going to have, well, the everyone's going to have to agree on like what's going to work, and then
Yeah.
also this is going
That
to be
ratio.
so expensive because manufacturers have to sustain
So,
and support the current 50-50
yes.
hybrid and
Yes.
start development on a new V8. And some people are probably just going to be like, I'm out.
I'm out. It's so expensive. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why I was like, it's just, and I wonder, I mean, I understand why they moved to the 50-50, and maybe I don't. A lot of people were like, at this point, we already have e formula. Like, what is why are we edging closer towards like an E formula instead of
Yeah.
just staying true, continue developing other aspects of the engine to still keep them hybrid, but not so heavily electric?
Yeah. I think
Um,
I think this is
I
an
don't
interesting
know.
intersection of global politics and policy and how that integrates with sport because in
Yeah.
2014, when we were like firmly in the new hybrid era, um, there was like massive pushes from governments worldwide. Like the US was doing this, the
Even the
UK was doing
US.
this to,
Yep.
move forward to like
Be more
EVs. So
carbon
like
neutral.
I can see how like again, the manufacturers like people are in it for the love of the sport, but then also there needs to be like a real like business value. And so like the
Mm-hmm.
thought was the R&D, but now globally we are seeing a retraction from that. Like the US has completely pulled back on their EV commitments, and even though gas prices are like really ridiculously crazy,
Insane.
but like we've kind of like seen that shift globally, politically,
Yep.
and that obviously policy and sport and life is not interchangeable, y'all. Or like
It's
it's
not.
connected like this. And
It's
if you
all
say
the
otherwise,
time.
chinga tu madre, because
And
like
there's historically been so many countries that use sport. F1 is literally a sport of geopolitics.
so is
Like
FIFA.
FIFA, exactly. I was like, these global sports always have a power play
Yeah,
going on. There's the reason why countries can even host F1 races and Grand Prix, you need the backing of the government.
yeah,
The government is spending money to bring viewership. They want to be presented under a certain light in the eyes of the spectators,
yeah,
right? And there's always politics behind it. Like
totally. Yeah,
and there are but it's just really surprising because a lot of the European brands, including Mercedes, like they are still very aligned with renewable energies and
but
like
okay,
electrifying vehicles. But the US brands, I think you could easily argue, like Ford, right, is now also
yeah,
providing engines for Red Bull, I think.
mm-hmm, yeah.
Or maybe it's Haas. I don't even remember anymore.
No, it's
But
Red Bull.
they're
Yeah, yeah,
like, we're cool. Like, because Ford has
mm-hmm.
never been this like innovator in electric vehicles. They just
Yeah,
started, releasing a couple of models here in the United States that are hybrids at best.
yeah.
Um, so I think they were like, great, like let's go back to our, gas fueled engines. Like we're great at that.
They're like
And
Honda, you're gonna leave. We'll take that
yeah,
contract from you. You
exactly.
know,
Yeah.
like, I know it's
Yeah.
really interesting. So yeah, we'll see. We'll
We'll
see what
see.
the
I'm
this.
excited for that. I'm excited what's to come. I think I'm a little torn because I am very much, again, politics, but I very much am like looking forward to a time where we can rely more on electric vehicles. We definitely don't have the power, uh, energy grids to do that. But,
At least not in the U.S. I don't know.
yeah, but given just like the environmental impacts of like fuels and all of that, I
Yeah,
just think it's the right way to go, but it'll be interesting how it impacts the sport.
yeah. Okay. Well, more to come. Do you want to talk about Max? Because you've
Max,
been
okay,
watching
so I've been popping in and out of Max's nur nur I can never say it.
Nurburgring.
Nurburing.
Okay. Also, we're recording on Saturday, May 26th, which is
Yes.
different than our normal. So Max is actually in the 24 hours of his
Yes.
race at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And last I checked, which was maybe about an hour ago, his team was in first place. And this just says a lot about Max
Gosh.
and the sport. I caught a couple of video clips because you have to like VPN to watch it, and I was
I
like,
saw it on El TikTok. It was on
yeah, I
live.
was trying to watch it. Yeah, whoever was streaming it, I was like, let me find it, and it's it's such a cool sport. It's insane though. Like, can you imagine driving with like 161 cars on the track and like trying to drive full speed, and they're at their own pace because they're not driving in your same car. They just have to get out of the way and you're just like running them off the road. It is crazy. But anyway, Max is already setting records. He broke, I think, the fastest lap time for a GT3 driver that has been a driver for his whole life, basically.
He's just out
And
there
yeah,
collecting.
he's just out there winning everything. And I would not be surprised if they win. He's supposed to be doing the night stint tonight.
Oh, cool.
Um, yeah, so and there's rain, so it's been like a wet race.
Oh, wow.
It's such a different format, like
Yeah.
you were so used to watching their pit stops in F1 be like lightning
Oh, I
fast
know.
and
They're
like
over there like wiping the
yeah,
windshield.
they get out of the car, they're just like it's
Okay.
chilling. I was like, this is so different.
On TikTok, because I tuned in like within the first hour, and someone had, so one of the ni me fijé cuál, but like one of the teams was already like pit stopping, and they were like do windshield wiping and
And
like
I'm like, get
changing
out
out
on the
tires,
road.
and I was like, what the hell? And okay, so one of the things that I did notice, and Max brought like tremendous new viewership. We'll have to like maybe talk about the
Sold
numbers
out.
next week to see. Well, one at the race itself, but then like viewership just in general. But the commentators were like explaining for F1 fans, like, this is the difference. This is the nuance. So I
Yes,
just think that
explaining it.
it's, there's a think piece that I did not have a chance to read about like the implications of Max. I'm gonna read it and then I'll like we can talk about it again later. But the headline or like the TLDR it seemed was like there's massive implications for like racing, obviamente, for Max doing this like during an active F1 season and like what that
Yes.
says. And so I just think El Maxi Pants. I just think that he was like born to be any kind of driver. Like I think that
Agreed.
if he like anything with a wheel and a motor, I feel like that
100%.
guy just can like completely dominate. Like I think it'd be cool to see him in like moto racing or something. Like
I think he
and I'm
even
not
said
his
that
biggest
at
fan
some
either, but like
point.
I just think that he's I don't know. Like it's cool to see him do this, but it also says so much about where the sport is right now. It says a lot about him as a driver. Um, it's
He's
interesting.
a driver to the bone.
Yeah.
Like this is, and I feel like I find these type of people very fascinating that like you never question they were meant to be doing what
Yeah.
they're doing.
Yeah. It was like his
And
destiny,
that is
his
very much
gift.
him. I know. And I think we also undermine the amount of work and dedication and sacrifice, right, that like these drivers put in to be the best of the best. And but for him, I don't know, man. It just feels like it's not so much that it comes with ease, but you could even see his driving style in the this race that he's
Oh,
doing.
really? When I watched, he wasn't driving. Yeah.
100%.
That's cool. Maybe I'll
The
go back
way
and see
he,
some
yeah,
clips.
the nose diving and the like aggressive like overtakes. I was like, he's driving this massive car as if it were an F1 car. And I was telling my husband, I was like, the aerodynamics on this car are not the same. I was like, one of these, like, we're just going to see him flying off the screen because he's going so fast and driving so aggressively. But at the same time, he just seems to have so much control over
Yeah.
it. Like, I don't know. It's fascinating to watch.
It's like in a different limb for him. I feel like
I
it's like an
know.
extension of like
It's
his
his third
body.
eye.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like a
for
third
real.
eye. Yeah.
Anyways, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try to tune in tonight and see. Like, maybe I'll watch it on TikTok if I can find the stream. But yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be
That'll
really
be
cool.
cool. I
Okay.
know.
All
Let's
right.
see if we can.
Last topic. Are we good on Max?
Yeah, we're good on
Cool.
Max. Good
All
luck,
right.
Max.
Yay. Good. Yeah. Good luck, Max.
Good
I
luck,
never thought I
Max.
would ever say that and
Right?
genuinely mean it.
I know. But it's because he's not an F1, because it's not F1.
There you go. There you go. That's why. That's why.
That's
Okay, so next weekend we have the Canadian GP. It's going to
yes.
be May 22nd through the 24th, and it's a sprint race weekend. These sprint races are actually really growing on me. I was not a fan of them.
They extend the weekend. They make it
I know,
exciting.
yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought I would do a recap of the last three Canadian
Mm-hmm.
GP winners, and then some like memorable moments from past races. So I'm just gonna run through these. So the last to win in 2025 was George for Mercedes, our Georgie Porgy. And then, surprise, surprise, Max Verstappen in 2024 and 2023. Yeah.
Way to go, Max.
I know. Yeah. Um, I I have no predictions on who's gonna win this one.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kimmy, also because Mercedes announced that they're bringing upgrades to this race. They're
Okay,
bringing in
cool.
a whole new package. And so I think that'll put them back potentially, like, as the top contender. They already are, right? Kimmy's
Yeah.
leading in the championship. But I wonder, like, who, like, P2 and P3 are going to be.
Yeah.
That I think is a little bit up in the air. I'm rooting for Ferrari. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not expecting the Williams to like get poles or podiums, but I think I maybe Charles can redeem himself this upcoming
Yeah.
race. I don't
Yeah.
know. Or or Lewis. Or Lewis.
I hope. I need him to get a podium.
I know.
Yeah.
We need more. We need more Lewis. Honestly,
Hmm.
I want to see more Lewis wins.
Yeah. Same. Okay. Some memorable milestones from past races. So we can go back to last year. This is when Kimi Antonelli finished P3, and it was his like, first podium. And this was like the beginning of like many firsts for him, which I thought was like super cool.
That's true. I forgot
Dude is
about
killing
that.
it. Yeah.
He's doing so good.
Yeah. And then there was like a battle basically between the McLarens with Piastri and Norris.
Oh, was this when they crashed? Or they had contact? Yeah.
And there was like lots of like post-race fallout, and then like Norris had to apologize. That was wild. That all of that tension was like really crazy.
Well, and it endured the rest of the season.
I know.
Like last season for McLaren was just they were so dominant, but they were their own worst enemy because they kept trying to interfere. They interfere too much with the driver relationship.
Well, also I just kind of think that they need like some kind of like driver coach or like horse whisperer over there to calm the tensions. Yeah, because like they were not liking each other. They probably still don't, and they just hide it better now. I don't know.
I don't think they're friends. Let me just put it to you that way.
Yeah,
I don't think they're friends. I think they're like collegial, right? It's like showing up to work and you have that one coworker that you're like,
are they nemesises?
I don't think they're nemesis. No, I don't think it goes that far, but I don't think they're gonna if it were up to them, I don't think they would go out of their way to do favors for each other. Kind of thing.
Yeah, oh yeah. But like will any driver really do that, you know?
I mean, Carlos giving Lando the little drag, like.
Oh, yeah.
But I think when they're sitting on the same team, I would say no.
Yeah.
Unless you have team orders, right? With like Checo and Max, like. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when a team is trying to say both of you are our number one driver, please.
No, you can't both be number one, which is going into my next one where there was like the exact same qualifying time for Max and George Russell.
When was
They
this?
were both number one. This was 2024, I think.
I don't remember this.
Where they basically had the same qualifying lap. And then,
which is fascinating because
I don't think that's ever really happened.
It's always like hundreds of a second off.
I've seen that like in other sports. Like I've seen that in swimming, I think, because I used to be a swimmer. I follow that. But then ultimately, I think Verstappen ended up winning. So, yeah, in 2024.
Verstappen won? Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2024.
Oh, yeah, because he won that race.
2024 and 2023. And then, in 2022, there was a lot of rain in the qualifying season. And then Max Verstappen got P2. And then Sunday ended up being like really of a crazy race because there was like a late safety car. And what ended up happening? Oh, yeah, Verstappen ended up ahead of the Ferraris.
Verstappen, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And And then this was kind of another petty one. This is like not more recent race, but I went back and I actually went back and watched the footage of this. But in
Which one?
2019, Vettel got a penalty. He crossed the finish line first, but then he ended up losing to Lewis due to like a 5-second penalty that he got for rejoining the track unsafely.
Oh,
And then when they were
no.
in Parc Ferme, Vettel was so mad that he got out of when he got out of the car. You know, like how they have like the little like number 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
He went and put because like after the penalty, I guess he knew about the penalty like once they were in Parc
Right.
Ferme, but he put the number 2 in front of Lewis and took the Lewis's number 1 and put it in front of his.
Salty.
I know. And it's funny because like they're friends, like they're like really good friends now, but they were kind of like
They were frenemies.
they were frenemies. Yeah.
They were frenemies. Well, because Sebastian Vettel, like in his peak days when he was with Red Bull, he was chaotic. Like he wreaked havoc on the track in the best way possible. Like made races really entertaining.
Yeah.
Honestly, is
Maybe it's something about Red
Montreal?
Bull.
I think Montreal is a really underrated track because some of the most chaotic races, like I was looking at F1 archives. So remember when I mentioned to you, like before they transitioned to Apple TV, like you could watch like races, and they always like would feature the 2011 Montreal race. That was that like 6-hour race because of the rain. Yeah. And Rihanna was like in the sport. Like Lewis was so young, and anyway, it was chaotic. So that race, I don't know, man. I know. Maybe we should try and go to it.
Yeah, it's been on my list to go to. Maybe next year.
I do just one thing about it is they have a grandstand. It's called the Lance Stroll grandstand, and I'm like, ¿Quién paga? ¿Quién paga por eso?
Hard pass. I will not be in that grandstand. So yeah, we have the race to look forward to next weekend. And hopefully we'll get some like cool nail biting action.
I hope so.
It'll be neat. Yeah.
I'm also excited to see at Mish. Is it Mish?
Yeah. Mishi Fishy.
Yes.
Whatever you create, girl, we want to see
next.
it.
I know. We're addicted.
She's had like okay. For context, everyone, there's this creator that we follow. Her name is @Mish, and then that's like Mishi Fishy, and she makes she custom makes, hand makes, mind you,
makes
a outfit for every GP, and for Japan, she embroidered this beautiful Ferrari jacket, like it was gorgeous, and then for Miami, she taught herself how to crochet.
The patience of this woman.
Crocheting is so hard. Okay, so here's my thing though. When she has like we had a fucking weeks-long wait between Japón and Miami. So she like taught her in like the 5-6 week span. She taught herself how to crochet and made this dress, and it was so pretty. And
so pretty. The flower designs.
I know, at the bottom. It was great. We need to make like a thing about it.
And the skirt that she did for the Chinese, that was so beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see what she does. Yeah, that Ferrari jacket is like in my brain all the time.
Yeah.
That's couture, dude.
I know. She's had a couple of weeks, so I wonder if she's like trying like a new medium or like, I don't know.
I know.
I'm really excited to see but that is like a labor of love, lots of dedication. I would have just like not done it.
I would have looked on Etsy. Be like, who's making cute stuff that I can buy? And that's why some people are just better than others. Like, I am not. And you know, like, I would have quit the moment I would have been like, you know what? This is going to take me 10 hours a day. Like,
I think she said it was something like that. Like, I need to go back and look at how many hours it was that she said, but like, it was a lot.
Yeah, she was like, after work, before work, like during work. And I was like, I don't have the patience for it. I do want to learn how to crochet, but like, wow.
It's super hard too.
So hard.
I wonder if her hand's cramped. I'll have to ask her. Maybe I'll like
I,
DM her
I
and be like,
I
girl,
wonder how
tell us the
painful it
scoop.
was when she made the Ferrari jacket because denim
Denim
is
is
really
thicker.
hard
Yeah.
to like sew through, and those
Girl,
stitches were
stretch your
not little.
hands. Hand stretching. It's niche.
We're
Take care of
looking
your
at
hands.
your arthritis, please. As older women,
Yeah, because she's young. She's like,
I
what, 20
know.
something? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I'm like,
She's a
even
youngin'.
now I wake up and I was like, oh, my ankles hurt.
Oh my God, what is with mine too? Is this perimenopause?
Is it? It might be. Oh my God.
Anything weird is always perimenopause.
I know. You don't know how many content creators at this point I follow. I'm like, that's what it is because I watched this content creator. I read it. I read it
I read
somewhere.
it on TikTok. You read the subtitles.
I'm getting all of my medical advice from
Oh my
content
God.
creators on TikTok. No, I'm kidding.
No.
But sometimes it feels that
Oh,
way.
oh my God, that's too funny.
You know what? Our bodies are very understudied, and sometimes you just need the anecdotal evidence.
You know what? Yeah, facts, mad facts.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, I think that wraps it up for today. We'll be
Yes.
back next week with like
Yes.
an actual race to talk about
Yep.
and pre-track drama and the
And let's
runway
see what
outfits.
the
Yeah, see what the
wags,
wags be doing.
what the wags
Yeah,
be doing for sure. What the pretty boys are doing after cons and their yachts and shit.
I know. How awesome. How
Did you see
glamorous.
that video before we wrap up? Did you see that video of Alex and Charles christening their new yacht?
No.
You know what? I can't even be mad.
Was Leo there? Of course he was.
Of course he was. They were like, we're christening our new yacht. And like Alex cut the ribbon because she, of course, in her perfect posture.
Oh
And I was
my
like, you know what,
God.
girl? I'm not even mad. Good for you, Miss 24-year-old.
I'm just jealous. I
Christening
want
your
her
new yacht in
posture.
Monaco.
That girl never slouches.
I know. I told you. I was like, there's her, and then there's me in the shape of a shrimp every day.
You know,
Like,
literally, I need to stop doing that because my neck is hurting.
yeah. There's actual exercises that you do against the wall.
Yeah, I know. I'm
But
supposed to do them and I
me
don't.
too.
Okay, so we're gonna channel our Alexandra and look,
We
see if I
should.
like stand. Look at how much I was like this the whole time. I need to.
Am I taller? No, I'm
I
just-
think so. We grow like an inch.
Oh my God, I could have just been
Yeah,
standing
I
straight this
know.
whole time.
I
Wow.
know. Okay,
Okay.
that's a wrap. Bye.
Bye.